Well, hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to our inaugural episode of 5 Questions with Octane 5. My name is Bill Patterson. I'm the Executive Vice President of Product Authentication here at Octane 5. And it's really exciting to be able to bring a brand new podcast. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about people. We're going to talk about things that just about life in general. So we really hope you'll join us and subscribe and come on the journey with us. But at least for this inaugural episode, the very first one, I'm so excited to have with us today, Anna Clarke. Anna is the Senior Vice President of the Global Licensing Group with Informa. And we figured this was really the best time to bring you along, Anna, on this very first one, because we've got a very exciting thing coming right around the corner with us. In fact, by the time this airs, we're going to be a week out of Brand Licensing Europe, BLE, which is one of the shows that Informa hosts. So, Anna, if you could tell us a little bit about your role at Informa and your role really with BLE.
Yeah, sure. So I'm responsible for the group that does anything to do with brand licensing and consumer products within Informa. So within our group, we have trade shows that I think everyone will know. Licensing Expo in Vegas, Brand Licensing Europe in London. We run Licensing Expo Shanghai with our team on the ground in China. And we also have the wonderful publication that is License Global, our media brand. And essentially, I'm responsible for all of it. I'm responsible for our P&L, our strategy, keeping our customers happy, keeping the team happy, and trying to keep us as relevant and innovative as possible for the industry that we serve.
Okay, so you're responsible for the P&L and all of the responsibilities that come with the show. You're responsible for keeping customers happy, and you're responsible for keeping the team happy. Which this is not one of the questions, but which one of those takes the most amount of time?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say,
but it's not one of the 5.
It's definitely equal between customers and team. I think they both feed each other. A happy team generates happy customers, but for me, definitely customers. I love doing that part of the job. So even when it's difficult, keeps me clued into what's going on. So yeah, I'd say 50-50 between those two.
Fantastic. Well, let's get started with the 5 questions. So Anna, what's the most exciting thing about BLE this year? What's new this year that we should be looking forward to?
So I'd say a couple of things. This year, we're really leaning into what we're calling the E in BLE. So everything to do with the European continent. We've got a ton of new content that focuses on some of the key regions, like deep dives into France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands. We've got a ton of new exhibitors from those regions. And some really, really good networking sessions also aligned to that. So definitely have a look at that. It's really pointed out in our agendas, our schedules, and in our meetings platform. And then I'd also say that I'm really excited about the exhibitor lineup. I always am, but particularly this year, we've got over 75 new exhibitors from all across Europe and the globe, actually, covering tons of different categories. Some of whom we've been courting for several years to come and join us. But it's actually going to be the biggest show since pre-COVID. And so it's really good to see it back thriving and all categories like covered. So I'd say those 2 things.
All right, let's go on to another question now. If you could have one thing that you haven't been able to do at BLE, what would that be? What's the one thing you haven't gotten your hands on yet?
Oh, so many answers to this question. But if I can just refine it down, I'll say when we were at Olympia, which I know a lot of people miss, but when we were there were so many experiential things I wanted to do, but it was a listed building and we couldn't put anything in the building ever. I wanted a slide. I wanted to go crazy in the venue, but wasn't allowed. Now we're at Excel. We can pretty much do anything. But what I'm desperate to do is something on the water. If you come out of the venue and you see the beautiful river with the yacht overlooking it, with all the venues around it, I'm desperate to do some kind of crazy activation on the water. So if anyone is interested in coming on board or doing something like that, then talk to me. And then finally, definitely some kind of wrestling match with the characters which we're really close to doing. But that would be a fun thing I'd love to see. Yeah, on the show floor, some kind of crazy wrestling match between the mascots and the characters. It's just a personal thing I'd love to see.
So let's move on to the next question then here. Okay. You're in London. We're out on the wharf. We understand it. Wherever you may stay, whether you're in central London, you're out on the wharf, you're near Excel. Listen, Anna, not everybody can eat trade show floor food all the time. So what's your favorite? Where is your favorite place to eat when you are at the show?
So let's be honest here. Am I actually able to eat when we're at the show? Doubtful. So I'm just going to be honest.
Okay,
that question. If I actually get lunch or dinner, it's an absolute privilege. I'm surviving on Diet Coke and chips most of the time. But if I do get out, there's definitely in the UK we have something called a Sunday roast. I think a lot of UK people understand this, but it's a really traditional English meal. It's one of my favourites. And I love going to Hawksmoor, which is one of the restaurants in Canary Wharf. They do a really good one, and they have a really good amount of roast potatoes and gravy, which is absolutely needed. If not, the Ivy in the Park in Canary Wharf is also really nice. It's it's got a really good range of food, but it's just a stunning venue. And I really like going there. Good cocktails too, which if you can do that, great for it.
Now, do they also, the potatoes, the roast, the gravy, do you also get the Yorkshire pudding?
You have to get the Yorkshire pudding. Even if it's not beef, you just get it anyway.
That's great. Okay. So I'm also impressed with your answer in the fact that you said chips. Now, did we mean chips or crisps? Were you trying to cater to an American host here?
I am definitely catering to my American hosts. I've worked with Americans for a very long time. And if you remember Jess Blue, my predecessor, who is also British, her and I have just become quasi half British, half American in our professional career. So my husband and my friends will always call me out for using Americanisms because I just don't know I'm doing it anymore.
Who's the most interesting celebrity you've ever met at Brand Licensing Europe? And interesting. Now you can define how you want to make interesting. Interesting could be, it was awful. It was an honor. I really wish I could have spent more time with them. However you want to define interesting, who's the most interesting celebrity you've met?
That's also a great question. I think that one of the most interesting for many reasons was probably David Hasselhoff.
Really?
I think because at the time I was so new to the show. Obviously, my maiden name is Knight, so I was obsessed with Knight Rider when I was younger. Did watch Baywatch, of course.
What a great reason.
I knew him as the Hoff, and I was trying to work out what on earth he was doing at this trade show, and it kind of opened my mind up to celebrities in the world, kind of endorsements, collaborations, all sorts of things. But he just desperately wanted a Thomas the Tank Engine for his fiance's son, and so we had to go and persuade Mattel to try and get one out of there. It was quite interesting, but he was an interesting guy. I can't say much more than that. I don't want to I don't want to say anything that I'm not supposed to. But it was quite amusing. I'm only 5'1" for those of you that know me, so I'm very short. And I stupidly didn't wear heels that day. And he is very tall, such as you are, and such as the Octave.
Yeah, he's about my height. Yeah.
So we were very kind of little and large. So it was quite amusing watching us walk around the show. But I'd definitely say him so far. I've met a ton of celebrities at the show, trust me. And they can all be really, really interesting. Paris Hilton at Expo is also like illuminating to speak to. But I'd say at BLE, it's definitely the Hoff.
The Hoff. Yeah. Now to you, it's funny. To you, he's Michael Knight. It's not Baywatch David Hasselhoff. It's Knight Rider Hasselhoff. And to the Germans, and to the Germans, he'd be pop star David Hasselhoff.
That's weird, but yeah.
All right, let's go to the next question then. Who has been your biggest mentor that's impacted your career thus far?
I really had to think about this question. I've been really lucky to have so many people in kind of my professional career that I've worked with, bosses, official, unofficial mentors. But I think the true answer to this question is my father. He was always such a huge inspiration to me in some of the things that he did. He brought the Tour de France to the UK for the first time ever. He was heavily involved in the sporting arena and did some major things in his career, but always had the respect of everyone that worked for him and always kind of put his teams first. So when I first started in a corporate job and it was, quite high pressured, lots of politics to navigate, lots of things to figure out, he was always my sounding board. And I think I knew I'd kind of really found my feet when I stopped calling him every time I walked into something that was difficult. But yeah, I'd definitely say the person that's had the most impact on my career is definitely my father.
That's fantastic. Dads are the best. Well, you know what, Anna? We have hit our 5 questions. So with that, I am so happy to have you part of our inaugural episode. And thank you so much for your time today. And if somebody needs to get a hold of you or Informa, how would they go about doing that?
So you can add me on LinkedIn. I'm still under Anna Knight, Knight, which is my maiden name. And it's anna.knight@informa.com. Door's always open. You can reach out.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again for being a part of this, and good luck with everything brand licensing Europe, and have a fantastic day.
Thank you.